afternoon, it's Thursday, July 23. I'm Mai Rodriguez for your Midday Report. We'll be giving you the stories shaping the nation at this hour. In the headlines, amid rising fuel prices, transport group Manibela petitions for a 2 peso fare hike, while a labor group pushes for a 200 peso wage increase. Police arrest 2 suspects in the killing of vlogger Mima Alicia. And storm signals are raised in several areas in Luzon as Tropical Depression Kiyapo accelerates. Stay tuned for the latest forecast as this has the potential to be a strong storm. Transport group Manibela continues its protest now on its second and last day. It also formally filed a petition for a 2 peso fare increase amid the surge in fuel prices. Nasa linya si Charmaine Abong para sa detalye. Charmaine, ano ang sagot ng LTFRB sa petisyon?
May nagpatuloy ngayong Huwebes ang ikalawang araw na tigil pasada ng mga miyembro ng transport group na Manibela bilang protesta sa patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng petrolyo. Kahapon nagaina ang grupo ng petisyon sa Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board o LTFRB para sa dagdag na 2 pisong pamasahe sa mga jeepney. Sakaling maaprubahan, tataas sa 15 piso ang minimum na pamasahe mula sa kasalukuyang 13 pesos. Inanunsyo naman ng LTFRB na magsasagawa ito ng recomputation sa mga nakabinbin na petisyon para sa fare adjustment. Ayon sa ahensya, isasaalang-alang sa pagtataya ang kakayahan ng mga pasahero na makayanan ang mas mataas na pamasahe, gayon din ang posibleng epekto nito sa inflation at sa presyo ng mga pangunahing bilihin at serbisyo. Samantala, mas kaunti naman ang mga tsuper at operator na nakilahok sa protesta ngayong Huwebes kumpara kahapon dito sa Philcoa Commonwealth, Quezon City. Bagamat nakausap na sila ng LTFRB kahapon, gigit ng grupo na ipagpapatuloy nila ang kanilang pagkilos hanggang magkaroon ng konkretong aksyon sa kanilang mga kahilingan. Patuloy rin nilang kinukondena ang anilay patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng langis at nananawagan ng mas agarang hakbang mula sa Department of Energy. Samantala, kasabay ng transport strike, nagpatupad naman ang mga kinauukulang ahensya ng libreng sakay sa mga apektadong lugar para matulungan ang mga pasahero sa gitna ng tigil pasada. Balik sa iyo, Mai.
Charmaine, linawin lang natin, hindi ba ito ang huling araw ng transport strike o meron pa ba bukas o sa Lunes sa SONA?
May ang sabi sa atin ng mga miyembro ng Manibela kanina, hanggang ngayong araw, titigil sila kung magkaroon ng aksyon. Pero sakali mang hindi pa rin sila pakinggan at wala pa rin, kasi kahapon kinausap lang sila eh. Ang mangyayari daw ay magkakaroon pa ng recomputation o iimbestigahan pa or susuriin pa ng LTFRB kung magiging okay itong adjustment. Pero kung sabi ng Manibela, kung magpapatuloy o wala pa rin silang makukuhang sagot o konkretong sagot mula sa LTFRB, ay magpapatuloy sila hanggang sa SONA.
Alright, maraming salamat Charmaine Abong, nag-uulat. Commuters continue to feel the impact of Manibela's transport strike. The group has apologized for the disruption, while hundreds of commuters continue to search for alternative rides. Nasa linya si Chill Emprido ng Abante para sa detalye. Chill, ano ang sabi ng Manibela ngayong day 2 ng tigil pasada?
Yes, May nakiusap na ang ilan sa mga miyembro ng Manibela Parañaque chapter sa mga pasaherong apektado ng tigil pasada ngayong araw. Ayon kay Eddie Carido, itong presidente ng Parañaque Unit, hindi naman daw nila gustong maapektuhan talaga ang mga pasahero. Pero kawawa naman daw sila kung hindi papalag sa patuloy na pagsirit ng presyo ng mga produktong petrolyo. Nanawagan na rin ito sa Department of Energy at sa pamahalaan, lalo na kay Energy Secretary Sharon Garina. Dapat anyang kakampi si Garin ng mga naghihirap na tsuper at gumawa ng solusyon sa kanilang mga hinaing.
Kami ng pasensya dahil sa ginawa namin, pero maunawa naman nila ito'y para sa lahat. Dahil kung di natin ito tututulan yung pagtaas ng presyo ng langit, apektado po lahat eh, kawawa na po tayo. Department of Energy, dahil sila ang may jurisdiction nito, sana maawa naman sila sa mga Pilipino. Hindi lahat ng oras, hindi lahat ng panahon, kami ay kumikita ng gusto nila mangyari. Sana pakiusap kung anong hinihingi namin na bawas ng presyo ng crudo, sana pagbigyan ninyo kami.
May mahigit 100 tsoper ang nagtigil pasada sa rutang Baclaran, Sucat, Kabihasnan sa bahagian ng Parañaque City. Pumapalo o mano sa 1,500 ang gastos nila sa crudo sa isang araw. Mas mahal sa wala pang 500 pesos na nauuwi nila sa kanilang mga pamilya. Umaasa raw sila na sa ikalimang SONA ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos maglalatag ito ng mga solusyon at kabuhayan para sa mga tsoper. May?
Maraming salamat, Chill. Emprido, nag-uulat. Labor leader Lucas Espiritu urges President Bongbong Marcos to certify as urgent a bill granting a 200 peso daily wage hike. On BNC's memo, Espiritu, president of the Bukluran ng Manggagawang Pilipino, said the increase is needed to bring it closer to the cost of living. He cites a computation from the Ibon Foundation saying a family of 5 needs about 1,312 pesos a day.
Ang cost of living natin is, as it stands, yung sinasabi nyo kanina sa preliminaries ninyo, magkano ba talagang pangangailangan? That's 1,312 pesos per day according to Ibon Foundation.
While business groups argue that a wage hike could cause layoffs and higher prices, Espiritu says that history shows otherwise.
1989, ang pinakamataas na wage increase sa history ng buong Pilipinas. Nothing has topped it in terms of taas. It's 40% of the entire wage ang tumaas. 89. Walang layoff, walang taas ng inflation, walang pagsasara ng mga business.
Week 3 of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial ended. House prosecutors concluding the testimony of NBI Director Melvin Matibag, their third and final witness for the death threats article. After Matibag's cross-examination, the defense team is now looking forward to present its own evidence. Jill Sebandal is on the phone for the details. Jill, what's next?
The day 9 of week 3 of impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte ended with the defense expressing confidence that it has remained or maintained consistent with its legal strategy as the proceedings move closer to the presentation of its own evidence. In a post-trial press conference yesterday, defense spokesperson Attorney Michael Poa said the team achieved the objectives it set for the cross-examination of the prosecution's witnesses, including NBI Director Melvin Matibag. He said the defense found nothing in the testimonies that would require a challenge or change in the theory of the case, adding that the witnesses' statements were legally consistent with what the defense has already anticipated. Attorney Poa also stressed that the defense has only been testing the prosecution's evidence through cross-examination and has not yet reached the stage where it will present its own witnesses and documentary evidence. He also said that the public will have a clearer picture of the defense's case once the phase of the trial begins. Meanwhile, the defense said it will only continue to fine-tune its preparations for the next hearing as about both sides move in the succeeding stages of the impeachment trial, with Attorney Poa reiterating that the final appreciation of the evidence will ultimately rest with the Senate Impeachment Court. Mai?
Jill, we're looking forward to the next phase when the defense starts presenting its own evidence to challenge the articles of impeachment. Kailan daw ito magaganap?
According to Attorney Poa, sa nabanggit niya kanina, the testimonies presented so far were consistent. Pero in-emphasize niya din na so far, pag-iisipan pa daw nila kung ano yung mga next move nila. But as he mentioned yesterday, Maya, sabi niya, public would expect a better understanding nga daw dahil next week sa pagsisimula ng impeachment trial, kasi nga walang Monday and Tuesday ng impeachment trial dahil sa SONA at sa post-SONA, magre-resume yung impeachment trial sa Wednesday. Pero for now, sinabi ng legal team na continue daw muna sila sa fine-tuning and preparation to while leaving the final appreciation of the evidence statement sa impeachment court nga. dahil sa binanggit ng witness kahapon at nung nakaraang araw sa nasabi ni NBI Director Melvin Matibag, sabi ng depensa about dun sa statement niya ay kailangan pa daw nila na magkakaroon ng thorough na pag-check ng mga ebidensya dahil nga din nadagdagan ng almost or 100 pages anong sinubmit din nila Scanias na affidavit. So sa ngayon may inaantay natin kung ano yung mga susunod na hakbang ng depensa paungkol dito. Mai?
Thank you, Jill Sebandal reporting. Senator Judge Robin Padilla clarifies his remarks yesterday, describing the prosecution as one-sided, saying it is just a call for fairness. He says all legal remedies must be exhausted before excluding any senator judge from participating in the trial. May ulat si Isaiah Mirafuentes live mula sa Batasang Pambansa. Isaiah, isa nga ito sa mga naging highlights kahapon. Ano ang reaksyon ng prosecution dito sa pahayag ni Senator Robin?
Yes, may tama ka dyan. Yan nga yung isa sa mga napansin natin bago matapos ang paglilitis, huling araw ng paglilitis ngayong linggo, kung saan nga nagkaroon ng palitan ng argumento sa pagitan nina Senator Judge Robin Padilla at House Lead Prosecutor Jervil Luistro. May ayon sa prosekusyon, dapat hindi raw kine-question ang neutrality sa nagpapatuloy na impeachment trial laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Nila sa simula pa lang ay malinaw na ang posisyon ng depensa at mga prosecutors sa nagaganap na impeachment trial. Ang prosekusyon ang maglalatag ng ebidensya laban sa inuusig habang ang defense team naman ang dedepensa dito. Paliwanag ni House Prosecutor at Dinagat Island Representative Kakabag-aw, ang neutrality sa paglilitis ay ang pagbibigay pagkakataon sa lahat ng panig na mapakinggan ang kanilang pahayag. Gitri ni House Trial Spokesperson Attorney Benjamin Tolosa Jr., ang posisyon ng prosekusyon ay palaging manalo ang katotohanan at kanilang ipaglalaban ay ang katotohanan lamang. Sa pahayag ni Padilla ngayong umaga, sinabi niya ang neutrality ay tumutukoy sa threshold, aniya, kung paano pinapayagan na maging testigo ang mga may kaso, dapat gayon din pagbigyang makaboto ang mga senador na may kinaharap rin ng mga kaso. May sinagot na rin ng prosekusyon niya ngayong araw, yung naging pahayag ngayong umaga ni Senator Judge Robin Padilla. Kaugnay nga sa tinatawag niyang neutrality na anya patungkol raw sa threshold. Ayon nga sa prosekusyon, nauna pa na nilang sinabi na nire-respeto na nila ang desisyon ni Presiding Judge Senator Chis Escudero kaugnay sa threshold, which is 16 dapat ito. And until this time daw, ay hindi pa raw nila ito hindi na nila ito pinag-uusapan pa dahil nakatuon na sila sa pagpapatibay ng kanilang mga ebidensya. Mai.
Isaiah, pumunta naman tayo sa kung ano ang inaasahan sa week 4 of the impeachment trial.
Yes, Mai, mas kaabang-abang yung mangyayari sa susunod na linggo, which is nga bubuksan na ng impeachment court ang pagtalakay kaugnay nga sa confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At kung papansinin natin, Mai, yung pre-trial order, ito yung may pinakamahabang trial dates na magtatagal nga ng 31 trial dates. Kung sakali man, Mai, na magagamit ito lahat ng prosekusyon, aabutin ito ng 10 linggo. Kasi nga, 3 trial per week. Pero may ayon sa prosekusyon kanina, sinasabi nila na sisikapin daw nila na mapabilis ang paglilitis sa confidential funds. At kabilang sa inaasahan nga natin at gustong marinig rin ng prosekusyon ay dapat daw maipakilala na kung sino-sino yung mga pumirma doon sa confidential funds, partikular na nga si Mary Grace Piatos at Milky Sikuya. Mai.
Ito nga ang susunod, pertaining to Article 1, tama?
Yes, Mai, tama kayo. Yan yung Article 1 and after nyan, matagal-tagal pa, susunod pa yung bribery at panghuli, yung unexplained wealth.
Alright, maraming salamat. Isaiah Mirafuentes, live mula sa Batasang Pambansa. Pulse Asia President Ronald Holmes says Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial has yet to directly affect voter preference for the 2028 elections. Holmes tells BNC's On Point Duterte's 6-point increase in the latest election survey may be due to other factors, including the decision of 2 potential candidates not to run. He adds that many Filipinos may not fully know the charges against the vice president.
Well, because the impeachment trial had not started, what we basically saw is really not necessarily stagnant. No? There's that support. The level of support is less than the majority. It may be increased by 6 points, but the increase of 6 points may be attributed to, as I said, more specifically, the decision expressed by two probable candidates that they won't be running. The other thing is that people, although they're aware of the impeachment, may not necessarily be that aware about the charges in the impeachment cases that have been filed against the vice president. We won't know, we cannot measure the public's opinion on the impeachment trial until it started.
Right.
And even when it started 9 days ago, Pinky, I doubt very much whether people would have understood essentially what was going on,
Well,
given all the legalese.
in other news, police arrest 2 suspects in the killing of vlogger Mima Alicia. She was shot dead in front of her house in Caloocan City last week. Nasa linya si Edwin Balasa ng Abante para sa detalye. Edwin, ano ang latest sa investigasyon?
May nahuli na nga ng PNP ang 2 suspect sa pagpatay sa vlogger na si Alicia Lipata o mas kilala bilang Mima Alicia sa Caloocan City. Sa isinagawang press briefing sa Camp Crame kanina, sinabi ni PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Allen Reyco na aresto ang gunman na kinilalang si alias MS at driver ng motorsiklo na si alias JA. Naaresto sila pareha sa Mabalacat, Pampanga kaninang umaga matapos ang isinagawang manhunt operation ng SITG Mima. Na-recover sa mga suspect ang 2 hand grenades, caliber 45 pistol at 9mm pistol. Samantala, nasampahan na rin ng reklamo ang mga suspect ng kasong murder at paglabag sa RN591 at RA9516. Wala pa namang ibang detalyeng maibigay ang PNP kung may mastermind ba sa pambabaslang dahil sa ngayon ay nandun pa sa Pampanga ang mga otoridad at patuloy na nag-iimbestiga. Matatandang pinaslang si Mima Alicia ng nakaraang linggo sa harapan ng kanilang bahay sa Caloocan City habang ang kinakasama nito ay sugatan din. Mai?
Edwin, ano daw ang posibleng angles dito sa pagpaslang? May kinalaman ba ito sa business or mga business dealing or tinitingnan din ba ang mga former live-in partners? Kasi ito ang lumalabas sa mga spekulasyon ng mga supporters niya.
May sa ngayon wala pang naibibigay na impormasyon ng pulisya hinggil sa motibo ng pamamaslang dahil patuloy ang ginagawang investigasyon ng SITG. Pero malakas pa rin ang anggulo na may kinalaman sa personal na buhay at sa trabaho ng biktima ang tinitignang motibo sa pagpatay. Mai?
Maraming salamat, Edwin Balasa, nag-uulat. Up next, environmental groups seek clearer policies and climate action from the administration as the nation awaits the President's SONA on Monday. This and more stories after the break. Stay tuned to Midday Report. You're back on Midday Report. Days before the President's 5th State of the Nation address, environmental groups seek clearer policies and climate action from the Marcos administration. Chad Gatchalian is on the phone for more. Chad, what do they want?
My President Bongbong Marcos with a task and green scorecard. That's according to environmental groups and Akbayan party list. Few days before his State of the Nation address next week. Philippines Your Partnership Incorporation and Rights of Nature Philippines expressed concerns on what they call a pattern of unmet promises for concrete environmental policies and climate actions. They claim that PBBM's speech may once again emphasize tech innovations, foreign investment, clean energy, and blue and green economy on his upcoming SONA, but they ask at what cost. Akbayan Representative Kong Dada Kiran Ismula explained it. Environmental issues should also be emphasized in PBBM's 5th SONA.
Ang State of the Nation, dapat kabilang din ang state of our nature. Tungkulin ng Administrasyong Marcos Jr. na tiyak
Akbayan Representative Percy Sandanya also said, if Mother Nature could give a grade to Marcos Jr., it will be a failing grade for allowing mining and reclamation projects. Yolanda Esquera of PMPI said the Marcos Jr. administration continues to allegedly sacrifice the environment for infrastructure, mining, tech hubs like Pac Silica, and subdivisions. The environmental groups gave failing marks to Marcos Jr. in areas like climate change mitigation, combating loss of biodiversity, pollution, and protecting environmental defenders. They explained the failing grades do not mean there were no efforts, but they said the climate actions of the government are not enough, and the same environmental problems persist. Community leaders also attended the press con, saying several residents and indigenous people in mountain ranges and forests are allegedly being threatened in areas where some infrastructures are planned to be built. Mai?
Ched, what are some of the solutions that these groups are offering after their environmental audit on the Marcos administration?
The environmental are asking PBBM to prioritize the passage of the Rights of Nature Bill, saying it recognizes that rivers, forests, wetlands, oceans, and all ecosystems have inherent rights to exist and flourish. Ay ibig sabihin nito, may gusto nila na magkaroon ng legal rights. Yung mga bodies of water, bodies of land, kilalanin sila na parang human rights din para maprotektunan at mabigyan ng karampatang depensa laban sa mga nang-aabuso sa kanila. You're also pushing for the passage of the proposed Ecocide Prevention Bill, which would mandate higher legal accountability for any severe ecological destruction. That's all, Mai. Back to you.
Thank you, Ched Gatchalian, reporting. High praise for Undersecretary Claire Castro from the Presidential Communications Office. On BNC's The Spokes, Secretary Dave Gomez said Yusek Castro is effective in Malacanang's fight against fake news. He also explains that while he is more focused on the policies and programs of the president, the challenge comes in communicating those projects.
After the midterm, nung pumasok si Yusek Claire, I think the formula works, no? Because the president needs to focus on governance, on the delivery of public services. And he cannot focus on media as much, no? So we need somebody like Yusek Claire who can provide context to what the president is doing, to what the president is saying, and at the same time color to what the president is saying.
Magaling siya. I've seen her. I've spoken to her personally.
Yusek Claire is a lawyer. She has a job to do and she's doing that job
Alam mo na,
very
may
well.
suggestion ako.
All eyes will be on the president's fifth SONA, and expectations are mounting over what could define the final stretch of his presidency. Former presidential speechwriter and acclaimed author Butch Dalisay says this year's SONA should go beyond accomplishments and focus on commitment. Speaking on BNC's memo, he says that the president must convince Filipinos that he intends to finish what he started, especially his anti-corruption campaign, as he shapes the legacy of his administration.
As a seasoned writer, and I'm sure you still observe, you're retired but you still observe, ano pong inaasahan ninyo na maririnig ninyo sa Lunes?
I think I will be looking for a commitment from the president to pursue what he began last year to the end of his presidency. Na kung ito man lang ang maiwan ko sa ating bayan at sa ating kasaysayan, gagawin ko ito. I mean, I will stake my word and my reputation and my legacy on it. And I think for BBM kasi, para sa akin, this is his, sabihin na natin, last chance at redemption.
C-suite executives discuss ways on how to help sustain businesses with the help of artificial intelligence. Che Sulit joins us live from Pasig City. Che, what's the latest?
Yes, my leaders across different industries are gathered here today in Pasig City for a forum entitled Future Ready Leadership, Shaping Leaders for Impact, Growth, and Purpose. The forum brought together C-suite executives to share practical insights on how organizations can develop strategies into effective workflows in a rapidly changing business environment. Throughout the day, speakers discussed how purpose-driven leadership, disciplined execution, and a strong organizational culture can help businesses achieve sustainable and long-term growth. The sessions also emphasized that frontline and mid-level managers play a critical role in translating company strategies into everyday decisions and results. My artificial intelligence emerged as one of the key themes of the forum. Techtify founder and CEO Joseph Blake said, while Filipinos have been quick to adopt generative AI, many are still using it only as a tool to complete tasks or improve efficiency. He said the next step for leaders is to help their teams collaborate with AI to redesign workflows, build new solutions, and create greater value for their organizations.
If you learn how to use generative AI in order to a lot of those processes, to really establish brand voice, to leverage AI and customize it so that it creates copy, then you are able to accomplish a lot more. Then your job's not going to be taken because, yes, AI is important, but you are also very important.
Beck added that investing in AI literacy, training, and digital capabilities could help Filipino workers become more productive while enabling businesses to remain competitive in a rapidly evolving economy. The conference also explored how leaders can build influence and engage multiple generations in the workplace. That's the latest from my end here in Pasig City. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Chesulit, reporting. Up next, the United States and Saudi Arabia signed a landmark nuclear deal. That and more world headlines, plus the latest in sports and the weather when Midday Report returns. Iran launches retaliatory drone strikes against U.S. military bases in Jordan and Bahrain. The attacks come after a series of U.S. assaults on Iranian targets. Iran says its forces hit facilities used by U.S. troops and military equipment. Meanwhile, the U.S. Central Command says it continued strikes against Iranian military targets for the 11th straight night to limit threats to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
This is with this skirmish we have with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and I call it that because let me tell you, they're getting hit so hard, and they want to make a deal. But I say they're not ready to make a deal. Because every time they make a deal, they want to change it and everything. They're not ready. They'll be ready very soon.
Meanwhile, the United States and Saudi Arabia signed a nuclear cooperation deal to develop the kingdom's civilian nuclear program. The agreement could allow Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium for energy use, a move that has raised nuclear proliferation concerns. The U.S. says the deal will follow strict safety and non-proliferation standards. This comes as tensions rise in the Middle East amid the escalating U.S.-Iran conflict. The deal will now undergo review by the U.S. Congress before it can move forward. The organizing committee of the Philippine Southeast Asian Games says it is ready to cooperate with any legitimate inquiries on the funds for the 2019 SEA Games. The organization released a certification from the Philippine Sports Commission confirming the full liquidation of the over 2 billion pesos it received. PISJOC says all liquidation reports were submitted and audited by an independent auditor, and it will make its records available for any proper review. It also reiterates the hosting of the Games was a success. with the Philippines finishing as overall champion. LeBron James's NBA future remains one of basketball's biggest questions. While the four-time champion has yet to announce his next move, two of the Philippines' most respected coaches have very different opinions on what should come next for the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Zeus Valdez of Abante reports.
As speculation surrounding LeBron James continues to grow, so do the debates about his next chapter. Rain or shine head coach Yang Yao believes the four-time NBA champion has already accomplished everything there is to achieve and should walk away from the game while still playing at an elite level.
Tingin ko kay LeBron dapat na mag-retire. Retire while you're up. Kasi ang tingin ko magaling pa rin siya. Pero mas maganda yung mag-retire ka nang nandun ka pa rin sa medyo nasa peak pa siya kaysa doon sa sasamaang laro mo.
Yao said James no longer has anything left to prove after winning 4 NBA titles, 4 MVP awards, and becoming the league's all-time leading scorer. But former Gilas Pilipinas head coach Shot Reyes believes the 41-year-old still has more basketball left to play. Reyes said if James continues his career, a return to the Miami Heat makes the most sense.
I think he really wants to go to Miami, just to be very honest.
The latest round of speculation was fueled after the Miami Heat accidentally posted, then quickly deleted, a YouTube video appearing to promote an introductory press conference for James. The team later explained the video was only a prepared template and not an indication of a signing. Whether James decides to chase another championship or bring his historic career to a close, his next decision will be one of the NBA's biggest stories of the offseason. LeBron James has yet to announce his next move after parting ways with the Los Angeles Lakers, with the Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors, and several other contenders, continuing to be linked to the four-time NBA champion. Zeus Valdez, Abante.
We're right around Isaac.
She has dominated Asia at 57 kilograms. Now, Filipina Jiu-jitsu star Annie Ramirez is taking on an even bigger challenge. She's dropping to a new weight class in her quest for another Asian Games gold. Anton Rojas tells us more.
Fresh off winning her latest gold medal at the 2026 Asian Jiu-Jitsu Championships in Jordan, Filipina grappler Annie Ramirez is already shifting her focus to an even tougher test, competing in a lower weight class at next year's Asian Games. In an interview on BNC's The Scorecard, the reigning Asian champion said her latest title was especially meaningful because it proved that she continues to evolve as an athlete. Ramirez said years of experience have also allowed her to better manage the pressure of major international competitions while constantly improving her technical game with new submissions, leg locks, and strength training to stay ahead of her opponents. After dominating the women's 57-kilogram division, Ramirez will now compete in the 52-kilogram class at the 2027 Asian Games, a move that requires a much more demanding weight cut. She admitted that making the new limit rather than competing at it will be her biggest challenge.
Actually, na-try kong bumaba ng 52 early this year. So, as per performance naman, okay naman. Sobrang malakas ako, pakiramdam ko, maganda yung performance ko. Ang ano lang is yung paano ka bababa ng 52. Yun lang yung, I think, the biggest challenge. Kasi in 57 nga nag-weight cut ako eh. What more na lang sa 52. So, it's another times 2 ng weight cutting. Pero hindi naman din, imposible yun. As long as proper calorie deficit, then training, then mindset, and syempre, di ba? Kaya naman.
Ramirez said her immediate goal is to defend her world championship before turning her full attention to the Asian Games, where she hopes to prove that success is not defined by weight class, but by preparation, discipline, and the will to keep raising the Philippine flag on the international stage. Anton Rojas, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Filipino surfers J.R. Esquivel and Jo Marie Ebueza are aiming for a strong finish as they return to the U.S. Open of Surfing in California. Our U.S. correspondent Steve Angeles has this story.
These Filipino surfers are catching waves and hoping to catch a win in Surf City. J.R. Esquivel and Jo Marie Ebueza are back in Huntington Beach, California for the U.S. Open of Surfing, which begins on July 25th. This is Esquivel's fourth U.S. Open. The 30-year-old finished second in 2024 and then took third last year.
It feels great to be back here for the fourth time. And yeah, I feel more confident this time because it's my fourth year and I know the waves already. And I feel comfortable with the weather now, and I'm used to surf with wetsuit already. Hopefully this year ma-achieve na natin yung first place, and we're trying our best. We're doing our best to train harder.
Meanwhile, this is the second U.S. Open for 24-year-old Jo Marie Ebueza, who reached the round of 16 last year. The World Surf League and the U.S. Open have become a source of pride for Pinoys, especially for these two who hail from La Union.
We are so happy na yung Pilipinas surfing is getting bigger now. And yun, sobrang saya namin na i-represent yung Philippines for dito nga sa world stage, dito sa Huntington Beach, sa USA. And stoked kami na yung highest level ng surfing is nasa Pilipinas na ngayon.
Nakapag-adjust naman na kami. Medyo nasanay na yung katawan namin. Nakapag-training na kami ng maayos. Yung tubig niya dito is malamig. Gumagamit kami ng wetsuit. Mas iba talaga pag gumamit ka ng wetsuit.
As they prepare physically for the competition, they're also getting support from local Filipinos calling themselves Barangay HB, holding meet and greets, fan events, and rounding up sponsors for these two. The U.S. Open of Surfing is free and open to the public, taking place next to the Huntington Beach Pier. When the U.S. Open of Surfing begins on July 25th, you could expect hordes of Filipino fans with their Philippine flags sitting along the pier and the beach, hoping to see one of their Philippine surfing idols raise a gold medal on July 29th. Steve Angeles, Bilyonaryo News Channel, Huntington Beach, California.
A young film athlete is using her passion for volleyball to help provide opportunities for young athletes in need. Her story from our U.S. correspondent, Henny Espinosa.
These young athletes in the Philippines are getting some help from a young Phil-Am from Houston, Texas, whose leadership goes beyond the court.
Hi everyone, it's Francesca Colocado.
This is 19-year-old Francesca Colocado, a competitive volleyball player who founded Gear for Greatness. The nonprofit organization provides sports equipment, financial support, and educational resources to young athletes in need. For her outstanding leadership, Francesca Colocado was given the 2026 Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Regional Award, presented by ESPN. The University of Texas at Austin student made history as the very first Phil-Am athlete to earn a spot on this prestigious roster.
I just feel immense gratitude. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind is like gratitude, appreciation, and just like what it is a privilege to be recognized by a sports icon just like that, and also by an organization, a company such as like ESPN. Like that's such a pinch me moment.
The award celebrates high school and college-age students who use sports as a catalyst for leadership, service, and positive change. The award mirrors the legacy of tennis icon and equality champion Billie Jean King.
For me, she's just a beacon of hope, a beacon of inspiration for young girls like me who want to enter spaces. She has made a lot of seats at the table, and I just like hope to kind of continue that and propel that and continue to make seats at the table where women can sit in leadership, where women can sit at the table and have their voices be heard.
For Colocado, this honor further fuels her fire to do more for young athletes in the U.S., the Philippines, and beyond. She sends this message to those who also want to make a difference in their communities.
So go out there, do what you love, do it fearlessly, and yeah, just pursue it all the way, 110%, and don't look back. Just keep going.
Henny Espinosa, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The 32nd Defense and Sporting Arms Show is highlighting firearm safety, shooting sports, and outdoor activities as it opens in Manila for a 5-day exhibit. Let's take a closer look with Sheila Salaysay.
Not just for firearm enthusiasts, the event also brings together those who enjoy outdoor adventures, shooting sports, and survival gear. The Association of Firearms and Ammunition Dealers of the Philippines, or AFAD, has officially opened the 32nd Defense and Sporting Arms Show, featuring the latest equipment, technology, and activities for shooting sports and the outdoor lifestyle. Senate Majority Floor Leader Mig Zubiri served as guest of honor, recognized for his advocacy of responsible firearm ownership and his role in pushing for changes to firearms laws that benefit legitimate gun owners and the industry. The exhibit brings together local and international manufacturers, retailers, distributors, sports shooters, collectors, and outdoor enthusiasts. Beyond showcasing new products, the event also promotes responsible firearm ownership and public safety.
We're inviting everybody because we want everybody to see that this is an industry that practices responsible gun ownership. So if you are a person who's interested in purchasing a firearm, a person who wants to learn about firearms, or a person who already owns firearms, you're more than welcome to join.
Among the exhibitors is Han Manila, which has been part of the show for 32 years and has been a trusted name in the Philippine outdoor and sporting goods industry for 45 years. Its display includes premium air guns, knives, multi-tools, flashlights, as well as survival and personal safety equipment, reflecting the growing interest in the country's outdoor and shooting lifestyle.
Han Manila has been a 70-year-old trademark, and we lasted this long because of the quality, the trustworthiness, and the hard work and the perseverance we all have.
Also featured throughout the 5-day event are live demonstrations, firearm safety seminars, legal briefings, and educational sessions on proper firearm handling, licensing procedures, and shooting sports. On-site assistance is also available for firearm licensing and permit renewals, along with consultations with representatives from various government agencies, helping make the process more convenient for firearm owners. The 32nd Defense and Sporting Arms Show is open to the public until July 26 at the SMX Convention Center, Manila in Pasay City. Sheila Salaysay, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Pag-asa says Tropical Depression Kiyapo has accelerated while moving northwest east of Luzon. Let's get the latest forecast from our resident meteorologist, Benison Estareja, who joins us via Zoom. Benison, good afternoon. Ano latest sa bagyo?
Good afternoon, Ms. Mai. As of 10 in the morning, ay huling namataan po ang sentro nitong si Tropical Depression Kiyapo at 830 kilometers east of northern Luzon. So it has maximum sustained winds of 45 kilometers per hour. So relatively, ito po ay mahina pa na bagyo. Gustiness up to 55 kilometers per hour and is moving northwestward at 25 kph. So maring bukas po ng tanghali or hapon, ito po ay magkakaroon ng close approach or landfall somewhere dito sa may mainland Cagayan or sa may Batanes group of islands. At lalabas po siya ng ating PAR either bukas po or sa Sabado ng madaling araw or umaga.
Benison, may potential ba ito na maging malakas na bagyo? At kung mangyayari man ito, ano ang mga areas na magiging maulan?
Based po dun sa ating latest track, lalakas pa ito ng bahagya into possibly a tropical storm habang nagko-cross po siya dito sa may extreme northern Luzon. At sa paglabas niya ng PAR, posibleng mas lumakas pa ito bilang isang severe tropical storm. So yung nakikita nating scenario, sa ngayon po meron tayong mga wind signal number 1 in many areas of northern Luzon, pero hindi natin nirule out na magtataas tayo hanggang wind signal number 2 dun sa may areas po ng Cagayan, Batanes, and the northern portions pa ng Ilocos Norte and Apayao. As for the rains, we're expecting po na bukod dun sa direktang epekto nitong si Bagyong Kiyapo dito po sa may northern Luzon na mayroong mga moderate to at times heavy rains, meron din po tayong asahang hanging habagat dito po sa may parting western sections ng Visayas and Mindanao within the next 24 hours na minsan ay malalakas.
Benison, makaka-apekto ba ito sa Metro Manila at sa Calabarzon, ano, dahil din sa habagat and also sa mga paboritong tourist spots like Palawan, Bohol at Boracay?
Yes, we're seeing po na kung dito sa Metro Manila at saka sa mga nearby areas in Calabarzon and Central Luzon, mag-start po yung makulimlim na panahon or cloudy skies mamayang hapon at ngayong hapon at maring magpatuloy po yan hanggang bukas and sa early Saturday kung saan meron tayong mga in-expect po na mga light to moderate rains and pinakamalalakas dito sa may areas po ng Zambales, Bataan, and then yung westernmost sections po ng Mindoro and Batangas. Habang yung mga areas po kagaya ng Palawan, itong Boracay, yung Bohol, within 24 hours, we're expecting na meron pa rin po mga pagbulan. Hindi naman siya tuloy-tuloy, pero ito yung mga generally light to moderate rains. May times sa malalakas din po, lalo na ngayong hapon, at maring magpatuloy po yung mga pagbulan hanggang bukas.
Alright, maraming salamat for the weather forecast, BNC resident meteorologist Benison Estareja. South Korean actor Pyo Ji-hoon, also known as P.O., is recovering after being hit by a car while crossing a road on Jeju Island. Police say the actor suffered minor injuries, including abrasions on his elbow and knee, and was taken to a hospital. They say the driver was not under the influence of alcohol and did not break traffic rules at the time of the incident. Pyo appeared in the Netflix series Teach You a Lesson. The brothers of the late actor Chadwick Boseman are asking a court to remove his widow as the administrator of his estate. Kevin and Derek Boseman allege that Taylor Simone Ledward Boseman has mismanaged the estate and failed to complete the distribution of assets. They're also seeking a full accounting of the estate, which includes royalties, investments, and other personal assets. The actor, best known for his role as Black Panther, died in 2020 after a private battle with colon cancer. And that's the Midday Report. I'm Mai Rodriguez. I'll see you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Stay informed and stay safe.